is one win away from retirement. I bet it feels good, fella. It's such a shame that Scott still doesn't know his Zelda. On Card Sharks! And here's your host of Card Sharks, Jose Cazares. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into another exciting installment of Card Sharks here on Sleepy Time Studios and the MVG Networks. We're glad to have you here with us once again. Well, that opening poem pretty much has given us an implication on what's about to happen here in our first game. We've got a champion who has racked up 4 wins in a row, and on this game in particular, he is going for his 5th and final win as he intends to become our first retired champion of the season. Coming into this episode with 4 wins and a season total of $44,450, let's welcome back our returning champion, Will Medina.
I'm back here again, getting my journey.
Well, Will, you've had some interesting wins in this championship run, but it could very well come to an end here tonight. All you need to do is win this last game, and you'll make history as our first retired champion of the season. Do you think you can get it done tonight?
Well, as long as they don't tell us any romper room questions up your database, but we shall see.
All right, well, best of luck to you. This is a big game for you. As we welcome in your challenger here. It's his first time playing here on our season of Card Sharks, so we welcome him in. Michael Bobadier.
Hi, good evening. How you doing, Jose?
I'm doing great, Michael. Glad to have you here with us. Why don't you go ahead and tell the folks a little bit about yourself?
Well, of course, I am from Buffalo, New York, and every Thursday night I have the good fortune of co-hosting the Rant Rave podcast, and still going really well business over there. We restarted with the interview this segment, and hopefully we can continue with that.
All right, well, best wishes on that podcast going forward. Now, you're up against a 4-time champion in Will. Do you think you have what it takes to take him down?
Like I said, only time is going to tell in this.
All right, well, good luck to the both of you. And let's go ahead and get this game started. So, of course, you know that the object of our game is to make your way to the end of the board by correctly calling high, low across the board. The first one of you to make it to the end wins the round. It takes 2 round wins to win a match, and that person becomes our champion and goes on to the money cards, where they can win up to $32,000 in cash. However, in order to gain control of the cards, you will need to correctly answer a high-low toss-up survey question. So with that said, let's get to it. Round number 1, first question, and this first one goes to Will. Alright, let's get the card here. Alright, Will, we asked 100 newlyweds. Did you meet your spouse on a dating app? How many said that they had?
Well, I didn't find my wife in a dating app, but I got a winner. But I'm gonna go, since there's a bunch of people on that category, let's go about 52.
Alright, he says 52 out of 100 met their spouses on a dating app. Michael, higher or lower than 52?
Well, the real question is how many of them use Tinder? I mean, wow. Meeting their spouse on a dating app. I mean the most obvious. So the most people need Tinder, but I'm gonna go lower to be on the safe side.
All right, he says lower than that. All right, of course, if it is higher, or of course, if it is lower, jeez. If it's lower, Michael, you'll get control of the cards first. If not, it'll be Will. The actual number of newlyweds who met their spouse on a dating app is 38. It is lower.
Wow.
All right, so Michael, you've got control of the cards first, so
Ready.
let's take a look at your opening base card. You have a 10. Now, you won the questions, you of course have the right to change it if you wish.
I'm gonna change it.
Changing it, the 10 goes away, and we replace it with an 8.
Ooh. It's right in the middle. So it's either so it's 50-50 here. I'm gonna play it safe and go lower.
Going lower than the 8? No, it's a queen. So no progress made there. And that means our champion gets a free chance to play off his base card of a jack.
Sorry about that. I had Seamus go get me a Dr. Pepper at the corner store. No, why did I ask him that? Lower.
Lower than the jack? It's a 6.
I'm going to freeze.
Alright, freezing it at the 6, taking a 1 card advantage over Michael. And that now brings us to our second question of the round. And Michael, this one is yours.
Alrighty.
Alright, Michael, we have a special kind of survey question for this one. This is one I like to call player percentages.
Ooh.
So so we're looking for a percentage here, not a number of people. So here it is. Currently, what percent of Fortune 500 CEOs are women?
Fortune 500 CEOs that are women. Man, this is a tough one right here. I can't come up with, and you know, I can't even come up with some of these off the bat, but man, I would say it's going to be a low number. I would say around 27%.
All right, he says 27% of the Fortune 500 CEOs are female. Will, higher or lower than 27%?
Oh, God. These rich-ass questions. Thanks, Jose. That's a better question. Don't listen. Oh, Fortune 500. I barely caught wind of what it looks like, but women. I'm going to guess a little higher. I mean, there's a lot of entrepreneurs in this world. I'm going to say higher.
Just so you know, I don't choose the questions here. I just go with what they give me. Yes, I'm sure. But anyways, the actual percentage of Fortune 500 CEOs that are women is 5%. It is not higher.
Whoa!
That percentage needs to go up, in my opinion, at big time. For the record.
Looks like they got the 95% tried, but they couldn't get out of the habit.
Oh, wow. Alright, so Michael, you've got control of the cards, and you have that 8.
Again, I gotta change.
Changing it again, the 8 goes away, and we replace it with a 6.
Alright, there's some improvement there. Let's go higher.
Higher than the 6? No, it's a 4. My goodness, not making any progress again.
What's going on?
And that means Will gets a free chance to play off the 6, but you cannot change it.
Hey, Mike, I know why you chased that 4. You're an Elias fan.
Oh!
Since when did I become an Elias fan?
Because you walked with them. Anyway.
I have never walked with Elias in a day, dude.
Anyways, we'll call this card.
Higher.
Higher than the 6?
I'm going to go higher.
It's a 9. Okay, disregarding the fact that we have a guest cameo from Mark Leota in the building, what do you want to do?
I would like to throw the meatball across the camera, but that doesn't work, so I guess I'll freeze off the 9.
Alright, freezing it on the 9. His lead now extending to 2 cards, needing only 2 to win the first round. Alright, and that brings us to our third question of the round, and Will, this one is yours. Alright, Will, we're back to the survey questions for this one. We asked 100 5th graders, are you on Instagram? How many said that they were?
Oh, God. A damn app that a lot of people get crazed over. Ugh, fantastic.
Yeah, no kidding.
Thoughts exactly. I don't think it's a high number because there's Snapchat, there's Facebook, there's Messenger, and there's other BS you see on the Play Store or Apple Store. But I'm going to go 45.
Alright, he says 45 out of 100 5th graders are on Instagram. Michael, higher or lower than 45?
It's that obvious. I don't think that people are allowed to have social media until they're like in their like teens or something. So I'm gonna say a lot lower.
Says lower than that. Alright. The actual number of 5th graders who are on Instagram is 43. It is just barely lower.
Wow.
Well, was right in the ballpark with that one. Overshot it a bit, though.
Looks not having too much luck with the cards, but man, much luck with the questions.
Well, we'll find out if that luck of the cards changes in just a moment. You have that 6 and you have control.
Whew. Well, we had some improvement in changing, but I'm not going to change this time. I'm going to go higher again.
Trying a different strategy. Let's see if it works out. Higher than the 6. It's a 9. Okay, keep moving right along.
Yeah, at least we're making progress. That's all that matters. Freeze.
Alright, freezing it right there, needing 3 cards to win the first round. Puts us in a very interesting situation as we go to our 4th and final question. It is sudden death, so somebody has to win on this next play of the cards. And the question goes to Michael. Alright, Michael, we asked 100 single straight women. Wow, quite specific. Again, this is 100 single straight women. Would you date a man in his 40s who lives with his mother? How many said sure, they'd date that guy?
Ugh. That is ridiculous. Just plain old ridiculous. Dating a man over his 40s, you said?
Yes, would they date a man in his 40s who lives with his mother? How many said that they would date that guy?
God. I may be insane in doing this, but I'm gonna go 64.
Alright, he says 64 of those women would date him. Will, higher or lower than 64?
Sorry, I had to laugh on mute, man. This is a ridiculous question, but
Thank goodness you and I agree on something, man.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch this, but it's 2022. Women are a lot pickier nowadays when it comes to that. I think this might be just a touch lower, just because of personal reasons and preferences. I'm going to go lower.
Alright, he says lower. Alright, for all important control of the cards, the actual number of single straight women who would date a man in his 40s if he lived with his mother is 31. It is way lower. Yeah, the women of this year currently are very picky, so you can see where they were going with that one. But all right, Will, you've got the decision. Now, both of you have the same card. You both have 9s. However, you have the 1 card advantage, and you also can change it. You would have to run through those 2 cards. One wrong move and Michael would win the first round. However, you can pass and force Michael to play off the 9, which he cannot change, and he has to call 1 extra card correctly for a total of 3. If he makes a mistake, you take round 1. Do you want to play or pass?
Well, at least Michael got one thing right. We're in agreement about that. But I think it's time Michael sees cards. Michael, you can have it. Jose, I'm going to pass.
Alright, he is passing it to Michael. So, Michael, you've got to call these 3 cards correctly.
Yeah.
Miss even 1, and Will takes round 1.
I gotta go lower.
Going lower than the 9. It's a 4.
Higher.
Higher than the 4. It's an ace.
Lower.
For game 1 of the match and $1,000, lower than the ace. It's a 3. He's done it. All right, Michael, you picked up the first round of the match. You've also picked up $1,000 for winning that round. Yours to keep no matter how you do in the rest of this game. But the challenger already up 1-0 over the champion. But Will, it is very possible for you to come back from this. It is not over yet. With that being said, let's go ahead and clear the board and get everything set up for our second round. Alright, round number 2, same as the first. The only difference is that the first question goes to the challenger. So Michael, we start with you for this first one. Oh, alright Michael, here we go. We asked 100 8th graders, have you ever forged your mom or dad's signature for something at school? How many admitted that they had?
I wouldn't believe most people would be that silly to that level. I mean, forging a signature in the 8th grade, that could lead to like something bad to them. So I'm not thinking anywhere near high in this. You know, I'm just gonna say 31.
Alright, he says 31 out of 100 have forged the signatures. Will, higher or lower than 31?
Michael, let me tell you something. We live in a cruel world. The world is not dull. There's good, there's bad, there's evil, there's ugly. So you're going to have to get a crash course sooner or later. And as far as this one, I've seen it happen in front of my eyes. So I'm going to say higher.
Alright, he says higher than that. Alright, the actual number of 8th graders who have ever forged either of their parents' signature for something at school is 33. It is slightly higher. Man, I mean, Michael was in the ballpark with that one, but undershot that one. And that means Will gets control of the cards for the first time. And let's take a look at your opening base card. You have an 8, but you can change it.
You can tell Frosty the Snowman to take an early vacation, change it.
Alright, the 8 goes away, and we replace it with a 5, a little better.
Yes, it is higher.
Alright, higher than the 5. It's a king.
Lower.
Going on, lower than the king. It's a deuce.
Higher.
Higher than the 2, it's a 9.
Ooh, what do I want to do here? Nah, I think the fifth card's a trap card. Freeze.
Freezing it right there, needing only one more card to tie up the match. Also, I find it pretty weird that all 4 of those cards are diamonds, but I digress. But anyways, with that said, we now go on to our second question of the round, and this one goes to you, Will. Ugh, we thought the last question was weird. Wait, you haven't seen anything yet, because here comes this one. Will, we ask 100 professional dog walkers. Have you ever walked away after letting a dog, quote-unquote, do his business without picking it up? How many admitted that they had?
I'm in this category. My dog does his business. We out, gangster style.
Wow.
When I go to a park, I'll pick it up. When I go to the park, I'll pick it up. But since my place has a small grass patch, they clean it up. This is gonna be a mid to high number. Let's go 58.
All right, he says 58 out of 100 would do this. Or have done it. Michael, higher or lower than 58?
Oh, man. This one's even weirder than the last one. I mean...
See, I
Central
told you.
Park, Michael. It's Central Park.
See, I told you.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to... I gotta think somewhere... I gotta think Central Park, New York City in this one. I mean, you know, not just Central Park, but all United States as well. I mean, golly. Lower.
Alright, he says lower than that. Alright, the actual number of professional dog walkers who have ever walked away after letting a dog do his business without picking it up is 29. It is lower. Yep, those well, considering that they're professional dog walkers, I would assume that they know better, but I digress. Alright, so Michael, you've got control of the cards for the first time this round, and let's see your opening base card. You have a jack.
That's a good one. That's a good one to start off. Lower.
Alright, keeping it going lower than the jack, it's a 5.
There you go. Higher.
Higher than the 5. Oh no, it's a 3! So you'll lose those 2 cards, go back to the jack, and Will gets a free chance to play off the 9.
Oh, man. Heavy shot. I'm going to go lower.
To tie up the match at 1 apiece and pick up another $1,000, lower than the 9, it's a deuce. We have a tie game. Well done, Will. The cards worked out in your favor in this round. You have tied up the match at 1 game apiece, and we add another $1,000 to your total. But now it's all going to come down to our tiebreaker round. So let's go ahead and get the board set up. In the tiebreakers, only 3 cards and 1 question. The champion always gets the questions in the tiebreaker, so Will, this one is yours. Alright, Will, we asked 100 divorced men. Did you get married too young? How many said yes?
Thank God I'm not in this category. I would have been ashamed to answer this one. But, no, I'm serious. Oh, wow.
No, I know.
This is actually a good question. Seriously, this is a very good question. And that's my wife in the background. So I was like, I'm gonna have to touch you with a knife, Jose. I'm gonna go 50. I want Mike to sweat this out.
Alright, he is pulling the middle trap card here with 50. Alright, Michael, higher or lower than 50?
Well, it looks like when you were expected to cut, or Will threw me a curveball. I mean, that was an absolute curveball. I mean, oh man, married too young. Well, I guess if you were married too young, I think it's around early 20s, something like that. But I wouldn't think most would have been married too young. So lower.
Alright, he says lower than that. Alright, for all important control of the cards once again. The actual number of divorced men who did get married too young is 52. It is not lower. All right, Will, you are going to have the decision here. I'm going to start by revealing both of your base cards. Michael has an 8, and you have a queen. Now, of course, you could change it, but Michael cannot. Do you want to play on this one or pass?
I will play and go lower.
Playing it himself. Keeping the queen and going lower. It's a deuce!
I'm going higher and for retirement. Thank you, Michael. I got you in the background higher.
To retire and pick up his 5th win. Higher than the deuce. It's a 10. You are retired! Well done, Will. You have picked up your 5th win, and you are now our first retired champion on Card Sharks. Congratulations! With a total so far of $46,450. And you're going to play the money cards for one final time in just a moment. Michael, my friend, you gave it a valiant effort there, sir, but unfortunately, after round 2, the cards just worked out in Will's favor, and he ended up retiring there. But did you still have fun with us regardless?
Oh yeah. I mean, what can you say?
Well, you're definitely not leaving out of here empty-handed. You are going to get to keep the 1,000 that you picked up for winning round 1. But before we send you off here, we got to play the what-if situation since this match is done with. So, Michael, had Will passed control to you, you would have had to call the 8.
Yeah. It could have gone 50-50 either way. I mean, I would have gone lower.
And you'd have lost, so it was set up for Will to win either way. But Michael, again, thank you so much for playing, and we hope to see you again in a future episode, I'm sure. Alright, well that is Michael Bombardier, and Will, you have officially done it. 5 wins in a row. You are retired. How are you feeling right now?
Mike, good game. As far as these questions go, just thank God it's over. Let's just leave it at that.
Alright, well, we are definitely going to be seeing you in our Tournament of Champions at the end of the season. But we're not quite done with you yet. Because when we come back, you're going to be playing the money cards for one final time to see how much you can add to this total. We'll be right back after this here on Card Sharks. Stay with us. Welcome back to Card Sharks. We're here with our now first retired champion, Will Medina, with $46,450. So, Will, you have made quite the name for yourself here on this show, but now you've got one final opportunity to see if you can add a whole lot more money to this total. You ready to get it done?
Vamos. Let's go.
All right, for your final time, let's play the money cards. All right, so you very well know how this works. Of course, we'll start off at the bottom row with $200 and work your way across the bottom row, calling the 3 cards there. Then we go up to the second row, give you 400 more, and work your way across those 3 cards. Minimum bets are 50 till you get to the top, the big bet, where you have to bet at least half your money. And of course, you can change 1 card per row by using one of the spare cards on the left side of the board. So with that said, Will, let's wrap up your retirement with a bang here. Start you off with your $200, and here is your opening base card. You have a 7.
Okay. Also, my wife has let me listen to something from one of her friends. Let's go ahead, throw the 7 towards Seamus's head, and I'm going to change it with card number 1.
Changing with number 1?
Yep.
Alright, using the change early, the 7 goes away, and we replace it with a 3.
Already? Damn. Well, all of it higher.
All $200 higher than the 3. It's a 9. You're up to $400, but you have to play off the 9.
Yes, I know. And just for my boy Brandon Scruggs, win or lose, I need to see about that tree 50. So I'm gonna go $50 lower, but I hope it's higher.
All right, going $50, the minimum bet. Lower than the 9? It's an 8. All right, you're up to $450. However, it's up the middle.
I know. I just want that tree 50. Oh well, maybe next. Damn it, 8. Let's go $50 higher.
All right, go with the minimum bet again. $50 higher than the 8? No, it's a 7, but you were right to bet safe. We move that 7 up to the second row, give you another $400. You're up to $800 now. And you have a 7 that you can now change.
Yes, out. We can tell that 7 to get out. And I'm going to change it with, let's put a little Jason Myers spice. Card number 3.
All right, changing with number 3, the 7 goes away, and we replace it with a 9. The other side of the spectrum.
I think the money cards is saying, Will, you won too much.
Well,
I got to be a conservative. $50 lower. I'm looking for an opportunity, but not yet. 50 lower.
All right, $50 lower than the 9. It's a deuce. There you go. You're up to $850 with a card you cannot lose on.
I better not. Anyway, everything higher.
All $850 higher than the deuce. It's a 4. You're up to $1,700.
Would it be interesting if a 3 or a 2 was that next card? Nah. Everything higher. Let's go.
All $1,700 higher than the 4. It's an ace. All right, well, we move that ace up to the top row. You have $3,400. You have to bet at least $1,700, but you can bet more, and you can change it, although I doubt you would want to.
You think I would change the ace, Cabron? No. We're ending it now. Everything lower. I need to get out of here.
All right, all $3,400. So, you will either have $3,400 or $6,800. If this card is lower than an ace, it's a 4, $6,800. Nicely done, Will. A very good way to end off your championship run there. We add that $6,800 to the $46,450. And we are going to be seeing you in the Tournament of Champions with a final total of $53,250. And I can officially say that with this retirement, you are now number 1 on our leaderboard.
I'll go sit on my throne. Good luck to the rest of you.
All right, well, it was a pleasure having you here on this run. Congratulations on your retirement, and we'll be seeing you at the end of the season for our tournament.
So you guys.
Gracias.
All right, so we have done it, folks. We have finally retired our first champion. But of course, the season is not over yet. When we come back, we're going to have 2 new players as we try to crown a new champion here on Card Sharks. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us. Welcome back to Card Sharks. If you are just now joining us, you missed a heck of a game as we have finally retired our first ever champion in Will Medina with a final total of over $53,000. But, of course, like I said, the season's not over yet, so we're going to look to crown a new champion. Now we have 2 new players for this next game. So let's meet them both right now. First up, he's back with us once again. He's only been here once thus far, making his second appearance with a total of $1,000 for the season. Let's welcome back Russ Bielefeld.
Hello, Jose.
Glad to have you back with us, Russ. You were able to win one round on your last appearance. However, you fell short to the previous to your opponent in that game. However, you're back with us once again. Do you think you can become the new champion tonight?
It's really gonna depend on how the cards go. So just shuffle up and deal.
All right. Well, best of luck to you here tonight. And your opponent is a contestant who has held a championship before with one win, and he has an overall season total of $8,900. Let's welcome back Mr. Aaron Glenn. Glad to have you back with us, Aaron. You've done pretty well for yourself overall for the regular season. However, you only picked up one win in a championship. Do you think you think you're able to get that championship back tonight?
Oh, let's hope so. Let's hope the cards ain't gonna be mean to me.
Well, you never know how they're gonna be to you, but still wish you the best of luck here tonight. And let's go ahead and get right into our game. Of course, we know how to do this, so we're just gonna go ahead and get right into it with our first question of our first round. And Russ, it goes to you. I think we're gonna enjoy this one. Russ, we asked 100 dentists, do you brush after every meal? How many said that they do?
Oh yeah. Oh, I always love to pass judgment on these type of practice what you preach questions. Let's hope this is gonna be a very high number. I'm gonna say 88.
Alright, he says 88 out of 100 dentists do brush after every meal. Aaron, higher or lower than 88?
I got a feeling it might be lower. I'm gonna say lower.
Alright, he says lower than that. Let's see how many dentists actually practice what they preach here. The actual number of dentists who do brush after every meal is 72. It is lower. Well, a lot of them do commit themselves to it. Alright, so Aaron, you've got control of the cards first. Let's take a look at your opening base card. You have a 7. Now you can change it if you wish.
Yeah, change it.
Alright, the 7 goes away, and we replace it with a 5, a little better.
Alright, let's go higher.
Going higher than the 5, it's a 9.
Let's freeze it.
Alright, freezing it, taking the 1 card advantage and keeping Russ away from his cards. And that now brings us to our second question of the round, and Aaron, this one is yours. Ooh, okay. This is going to be an interesting one to say the least here. Aaron, we asked 100 dads, have you ever yelled so loud while watching sports that you made your kid cry? How many said that they had?
Wow. That might be a low number. I'm gonna say maybe 24.
Alright, he says 24 out of 100 have done this. Russ, higher or lower than 24?
I've never done this myself. I've never really heard of it happening to any of my other family members or any of my friends, acquaintances. I'm going lower on this one.
Says lower than that still. Alright. Alright, let's find out then. The actual number of dads who have yelled so loud while watching sports that they made their kid cry is 52. It is not lower.
Wow.
Well, I guess some of those dads are die-hard sports fans at best. Alright, so Aaron, you've got control of the cards once again, and you have that 9.
Let's just change it.
Changing it again. Alright, the 9 goes away, and we replace it with a king.
Alright, lower.
Alright, lower than the king, it's a 6.
Higher.
Going for it. Higher than the 6. No, it's a 4. You lose both of those cards, go back to the king, and that means Russ finally gets a free chance to play off his base card, which is a 5.
Okay. Too bad. Let's go higher.
Higher than the 5, it's a queen.
Ooh, yes, very nice. Let's continue and go lower.
Lower than the queen, it's an 8.
Yeah, I don't mess around with 8s. Freeze, please.
Alright, freezing it right there, taking the 1 card lead over Aaron. And that now brings us to our 3rd question of the round. And Russ, we are back to you for this next one. Oh, we're gonna have quite the battle with this question. Alright, Russ, we asked 100 people. Would you rather see a funny cat video or a funny dog video? How many of those people said that they would rather see a funny cat video?
Well, I'm personally not partial to either one. I will watch any funny video, but, you know, as long as it's funny. But how many going to say they would rather watch a cat video than a dog video? Boy, since there are slightly more cat owners in America now than dog owners, I'm gonna say 51.
How many you cut out there?
61.
6-1?
I've won.
Oh, 51, alright. Just making sure. Alright, so he says 51 would rather watch a funny cat video. Aaron, higher or lower than 51?
It's tough. I'm gonna say lower.
Alright, he says lower than that. Alright. The actual number of people who would rather see a funny cat video over a funny dog video is 41. It is lower. Alright, Aaron, you've got control of the cards once again, and you have that king.
Keep it and go lower.
On lower than the king, it's a deuce.
Let's go higher.
Higher than the 2, it's a jack.
Lower.
For game 1 of the match and another $1,000 to add to your season total, lower than the jack, it's a 4. He's done it. Alright, Aaron, nicely done. You've picked up the first round of the match. We add that 1,000 to your total, and you're now up to $9,900. And just like that, you're up 1-0. However, Russ can still get himself into this game, as we clear the board and get things set up for our second round. All right, our second question, our second round is the same as the first. However, the challenger gets the first question. So, Aaron, this first one goes to you. I swear, these questions just keep getting better. Alright, Aaron, we asked 100 dads. Have you ever lied about your child's age just so they could order from the kids menu? How many said that they had?
Wow, talk about being cheap. Yeah. I think that's gonna be, I'll say about 42.
I told you we were going to have a good time with this one. Alright, he says 42 out of 100 have done this. Ross, higher or lower than 42?
I did this when I was a kid. Hell, I was still eating Happy Meals until I was 13 years old. So.
Oh my god!
Yeah. I'm gonna go higher.
Gotta go higher than that. Did you do the lying or your dad did?
Oh, both.
It was a team effort then, wow. Alright, well, let's find out the actual number then. The actual number of dads who have ever lied about their child's age just so they could order from the kids menu is 56. It is higher. Alright. So, Russ, you can control the cards for the first time in this round. And let's see what your opening base card is. You have a Jack.
Jacks are a little scary in this game, but I will play the odds and go lower.
Alright, giving it going lower than the Jack. It's a 3.
Ooh, very nice. We'll keep the train going and go higher.
Going on, higher than the 3. It's an ace!
Oh, well, I am compelled to go on again, lower.
Lower than the ace, it's a 6.
No mas.
Freezing it right there?
Yes.
Alright then, just like that. I'm sensing a little deja vu from the last game here. Russ now only needs 1 card to tie up the match. He also keeps Aaron away from his cards. And that brings us to our second question of the round, and Russ, this one is yours. Alright, Russ, we got another player percentages question here. According to Bloomberg News, in 2018, what percent of U.S. households had a landline phone?
Yeah, it said 2018.
Correct.
Yeah, I think by that time most people have pretty much done away with the landlines, and now you go strictly with cell phones and cable internet and stuff like that. I'm gonna say 17. 17.
Alright, he says 17% of households had a landline. Aaron, higher or lower than 17?
There might be people that still use landlines, I guess. I think it might be higher than that.
Alright, he says higher. Alright, the actual number in 2018, the actual percentage of U.S. households that had a landline phone is 42%. It is higher. You gotta understand, this was 2018 back then. I mean, I guess people just still didn't want to modernize their phone habits, but I digress. Alright, so Aaron, you get control of the cards for the first time this round, and you have a base card of a queen.
Alright, let's go lower.
Lower than the queen, it's a 4.
Let's go higher.
Higher than the 4, it's another queen.
Lower.
Lower than the queen, it's a 3.
Higher.
To become our new champion and pick up another $1,000, higher than the 3, it's an ace. He has done it! Nicely done, Aaron. The card's working out in your favor there. Not only do you pick up another $1,000 for winning that round, but for sweeping the board without making a single mistake, you pick up an extra $1,000. So before the money cards, you have a total now of $11,900.
Wow.
And you're going to be going back to the money cards in just a moment. Ross, you were only 1 card away, but unfortunately that question just ended up making the difference. As Aaron just sniped that round from you and pretty much took the L out of Lover, because that game was over, brother. Did you still have fun with us regardless?
Yeah, I have. Just didn't have much luck with the survey questions this time around, unlike in previous games.
Well, hey, you are not leaving out of here empty-handed. We're going to give you the house minimum of $500 for participating, so you can now go up to $1,500. But I can bet that you're going to be back later on in the season to try to start a run for yourself.
Yeah. Well, in a few weeks, we'll see.
Alright, well, that is Russ Bielefeld, everybody. And Aaron, you are starting another championship run. You've picked up your first win in this particular run. $11,900 for the season. And when we come back, you're going to be taking on the money cards once again. We'll be right back after this here on Card Sharks. Stay with us. Welcome back to Card Sharks. We're here with our new champion, Aaron Glenn, who is once again starting a championship run for himself. He's got his first win and $11,900 to his credit. But now, Aaron, you're going to have once again another opportunity to play those money cards to see if you can add more to that total. You ready to do this?
Well, I'm ready.
All right, let's go ahead and get right into it. You already know how we play this game, so we're going to just deal out the cards, give you $200 of betting money, and I wish you the best of luck as we show you your opening base card. We start you with a king.
Let's go all of it lower.
All $200, lower than the king. It's a 10. You're up to $400 now.
Okay, change with number 3.
All right, using the 1 change per row, the 10 goes away, and we replace it with a jack.
Okay, 200 lower.
All right, going half of it, lower than the jack. It's a 9. You're up to 600 now.
Okay, 100 lower.
All right, going $100, playing conservative here. You said lower, right?
Right.
All right, just double checking. Lower than the 9. It's an 8. All right, we move that 8 up to the next row, give you another $400 of betting money. You're up to $1,100 and a card that's right up the middle.
Yeah, change of number 1.
All right, changing it once again. The 8 goes away, and we replace it with a deuce.
Good, good. All of it higher.
Can't lose on this one. $1,100 higher than the deuce. It's a 4. You're up to $2,200 now.
All of it higher.
Oh, and all of it again. $2,200 higher than the 4. It's a 9. You're up to $4,400 now.
Okay, 500 lower.
All right, going another. You said higher?
Lower.
Oh, lower. Okay, again, just double checking. Going $500 lower than the 9. It's a 6.
Okay.
All right, Aaron, we move that 6 up to the top row. You have $4,900. You have to bet at least $2,450. But you can bet more, and you can change it.
Yeah, change it with number 2.
All right, all important change here. The 6 goes away, and we replace it with a 4. What is your big bet on this 4?
You know what? All of it higher. I'm putting it on the line. All of it higher.
All right, so Aaron, good luck. You're either going to have absolutely nothing or $9,800. If this card is higher than the 4, it's an 8. He's done it. $9,800. Oh, having those guts worked out there, Aaron, another $9,800. And when we add that to the $11,900 that you picked up previously, you now have 1 win for this run and a total of $21,700. And the best part, you're going to be coming back with us on our next show as you defend your title.
All right, I'll be there.
All right, good to know. But folks, that's going to wrap things up for what has certainly been another exciting edition of Card Sharks. We thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, when the cards come shoveling our way once again and we see Aaron back here to defend his title, I'm your host, Jose Cazares. For all of us at Sleepy Time Studios and MVG Productions, we'll see you next time for more of Card Sharks. Good night, everybody.